So I saw a little article the other week going over how the rules in NASCAR are being changed slightly and how this is going to affect some teams such as 23XI and Front Row Motorsport. Now you may notice those two are the teams that are of course involved in that antitrust lawsuit, and what is going on there is really affecting the rule book when it comes to NASCAR. They have made a stealth change, as a lot of people are dubbing it. But what is this change? How is it going to affect things? And is it right that NASCAR has done this? Got a full article here on the motorsportreports.com to go over this exact issue for you guys right here. NASCAR has issued a stealth rulebook revision that could alter the trajectory of the 2025 Cup Series season for 23XI Racing and Front Row Motorsports, all while the sport prepares to crown its first in-season challenge winner and faces mounting courtroom pressure. Of course, we're in the final now of that in-season challenge. It's Ty v Ty. I've already done a video going over that, guys. Already articles on the motorsportreports.com, but let's focus on this specific issue here. Both 23XI Racing, which is co-owned by Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan, and Front Row Motorsports filed a federal antitrust lawsuit arguing that NASCAR's system unfairly monopolizes team access and puts non-chartered outfits at financial and competitive disadvantage. Their charter statuses were revoked earlier this season. The new open exemption provision policy removes the last resort entry clause and instead grants NASCAR complete discretion to cap the field at 40 cars, as it has done in the past. More notably, it redefines how open teams qualify. Instead of relying purely on single lap qualifying speed, grid spots will now be determined by team owner Penske point standings if field size becomes an issue. Up to 6 open teams can qualify this way, a move insiders say could weaken the lawsuit's irreparable harm argument, namely that losing a charter puts teams at risk of missing races altogether and going out of business. This change could prove pivotal. Both Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace remain competitive. Wallace more debatable in there, but we're not going to go into too much detail on that here. We've already spoke a lot about Bubba here on the channel in recent weeks, ranking 5th and 13th respectively in the Drivers' Championship standings. Their strength means that even as open teams, they are unlikely to be bumped from the grid under this new system. Basically, they'll have to qualify now if there's more than 40 entrants for those 40 spots. However, given their overall pace, it is unlikely they'll miss out, but it is in theory possible. NASCAR charters come with guaranteed race entries and a share of the sports media rights money, which is valued at $7.7 billion. Open teams receive no such assurances, though, making them less appealing to sponsors due to their uncertain status. Effectively, if there's a chance they'll miss the race, why would you pay as much to have your logos on their car, given that they might not even feature on Sunday? It's a risk that does affect both the sponsors and the teams. Now, the changes first came into play at Dover last weekend, where both 23XI entries made the field. Hamlin ironically won the race, but declined to comment on the legal situation currently going on. Reddick also passed on making a statement. Wallace has previously suggested he may leave 23XI if charter security cannot be regained, although his seat's in question anyway for different reasons, again, lack of performance being of course the big issue there. Although the revised rules may keep the likes of Reddick and Wallace safe from do not qualifies, the financial gap between chartered and open teams remains wide. Whether the new wording will hold up under legal scrutiny when the case goes to trial, though, remains to be seen. With a $1 million payday on the line at the Brickyard this weekend and legal fireworks waiting in December, NASCAR's handling of the situation could not only reshape just this season, but also the future of how the sport is governed. So yeah, guys, fair amount to discuss there when it comes to this lawsuit. It's going to be something that's really going to be seismic. You guys have had your says in the comments below on all the videos we've been doing about this. I really appreciate your input. We'll have to see what happens. I mean, it's like I said, it's unlikely there's going to be a DSQ really there for a 23XI driver, but it is in theory possible, particularly as we go further into the season. You know, when we go back to Daytona, when we go to Talladega later on in the season as well, you know, there could be some big risks there, really. But yeah, get your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always, and have a fantastic day around the world today, guys. We'll see you very soon.